Few would argue that man has no greater friend than their dog. The pet pooch has been by our side for thousands of years, and in all that time we've assumed a lot about their behaviour. But scientists are now seriously studying dogs, assessing how smart they are, and the big one: do they love us like we love them? Well, researchers think they have the answer.
Go, Chase, go, go. Through.
This is Chaser. She's been trained intensively for 3 years and is now regarded as the smartest dog in the world.
Good girl, good girl. Go.
Do you recognise what you've achieved?
I do recognize what she's achieved, and I want dog owners to recognize what a dog can learn.
Dr. John Pilley is a retired psychology professor from South Carolina. As a special study, he began teaching Chaser the names of a few toys.
Find sheep. Where's sheep?
When she got them right, he bought hundreds more and gave each of them names for Chaser to learn.
And this was so amazing, and it happened so quick. And at that particular time, I knew that this puppy is going to learn a lot of words.
And a lot of words she did learn.
And she did learn.
How many?
She learned over 1,000.
Over 1,000 words.
Over 1,000.
Chase, find wheel, find wheel.
When she identifies the right toy, that's pretty much always,
Go, go.
Chaser is rewarded with the throw of her favourite blue ball and lots of praise.
Good girl. Fetch. Goose. Get goose. Get goose. Yeah, good girl, good girl.
I have to be careful about comparing Chaser with humans, but I like to think that her behavior is equal to that of a 2-year-old toddler.
Decoy. Take decoy.
She's actually smarter than a 2-year-old. At that age, humans know about 50 words.
Good girl, that's decoy.
Chaser knows 20 times more.
Chase. Chase. Frisbee. Take frisbee. Good girl, good girl.
Oh my goodness. These are there?
These are the toys.
They're all kept on the back porch. 800 soft toys, more than 100 balls, and assorted frisbees and playthings. Do you know that this is Elsa? Can you find Elsa? John tests her regularly to make sure her memory's up to scratch.
Oh, there it is.
Good dog. Good dog. Well done, Chaser.
Smarty pants, isn't she?
Watch Pop-Pop.
John wrote a scientific study on Chaser
You do it.
and then a book, which are now must-reads in canine research. She was born at a farm that breeds sheepdogs.
There, there.
Typical of border collies, she loved to herd and chase, had intense concentration and a willingness to learn.
Started at 8 weeks. The very night we brought her home, I said first, Chaser, this is ball, and I rolled it. Of course, there she goes. And then I wanted to get that into her long-term memory.
Here it comes.
So I wait a little while, and I challenge her again. Find ball, find ball.
1, 2, 3. Good girl.
And so with that, learning takes place.
For a dog to learn, it has to be fun.
Which one do you want? Pick it. Oh, you want that one? Okay, go.
John's games became more challenging. He moved on from single words to sequences of words.
Take chuck it. The frisbee, take chuck it.
Here, she takes one toy to another and brings them to John. Chaser knows him as Pop-Pop.
The pop-up. Here's pop-up.
It shows this is not just a pet trick for a food reward. Chaser actually understands what the nouns and verbs mean.
I think the thing for everybody to know that's so exciting is we've learned more in the last 10 years than we had in the previous 100.
Brian Hare is an associate professor at Duke University, specialising in the intelligence of dogs.
They have a gift that other animals don't have that has allowed them to travel all across the world, everywhere where they're humans, and been really the most successful mammal other than humans.
The gift he's talking about is the ability to read gestures, just as a toddler does.
So we have Sisu, and we're gonna just play a little problem-solving game with her.
Come here, Sisu.
To demonstrate, Brian works with his Australian wife, Vanessa Woods, a research scientist, and their Labrador named Sisu.
And we're gonna put into competition her memory and her use of gestures.
Okay, stay.
With Sisu watching, Vanessa puts a treat under one cup, but points her finger to the other empty cup. She's making an inference.
Yeah, she believed it.
It looks easy, but some animals don't understand the meaning of pointing. Dogs can, which means they're capable of what scientists call inferential reasoning.
They can read our gestures, and I promise you, almost certainly, if you do this a few times, your dog will repeatedly go to where you point and not to where you hid the food.
So we're going to take the treat and we're going to put it in the container. But
Brian
now
and Vanessa tried
close it.
another test. How would Sisu get a treat from
see what she does.
inside a container? Tests have shown wolves will try all day to break open a container. But domesticated dogs know an easier way. Ask for help.
You want? Oh, you want somebody to help you? Okay. Okay. Sure. So that was just much easier than trying to break a Tupperware. Like, it'd take the wolves a lot longer.
The expression on the face
I know,
was
it's pitiful, isn't it? Well, that's what they do to you. It's so pitiful. It's like, how do you not help them? And I think that's one of the reasons why they're so successful.
They're very smart in achieving what they want by using.
For sure. The genius of dogs is they're able to use the bond they have with us, and they can communicate with us in a way that other animals really can't. And as a result, simple problems that other animals may not be able to solve, dogs can solve because they can tap into the most intelligent animal in the world, which is us. They can ask us for help, and that's why they can solve a whole host of problems other animals can't.
She's camera shy.
Yeah.
Come on, Callie.
Callie.
Perhaps it's not too surprising dogs are so clever. After all, they've been around about as long as
The
humans.
other way. Come on. This way.
To learn even more,
That's backwards, silly. Come on,
neuroscientist Dr. Greg Burns began investigating the dog's brain.
Looking at my own dogs, it got me wondering, can we figure out what dogs think? And do they feel things like humans do? There you go.
To find out how they feel, he brought his own dog into the lab. The first step was to train her to lie completely still for an MRI scan. MRIs are noisy for dogs' sensitive ears. So Greg gives them earplugs and earmuffs and bandages them into place. The scan would be the first look inside a dog's functioning brain.
This has been scaled up, so the dog brain is actually quite a bit smaller than human brain, but it shows the areas that are obviously similar, so we can see a structure like this, which is the cerebellum.
The dog was given random scents to sniff. As expected, the part of the brain that processes smell lit up. But when the dog sniffed its owner's scent, another part of the brain lit up, the reward center.
And in that case, where you see the most activity in the yellow and the red is kind of in the center of the brain, which is right where the reward system is located.
The owner's scent had a powerful effect, a warm feeling beyond the normal excitement of being fed.
The familiar scent evokes some kind of positive association, expectation, whatever you want to call that.
Love, affection, some might call it.
Some indeed.
The dog responded as we do when we're meeting someone we love.
It told you, did it, that this dog that the family loved you back?
That's my interpretation of it.
What's still being studied is a dog's reaction to things not associated with smell.
In, out.
Which brings us back to Chaser and her remarkable memory for words.
Good girl, good girl. Go.
Do you feel like Chaser adds anything to the science and the understanding?
Oh, sure, because, Chaser, apart from having this tremendous vocabulary, also understands some basic differences between verbs and objects.
But you're yet to be convinced that this is something all dogs are capable of.
Right, I'm not sure all dogs can do that. It shows what their potential is, but you know, that doesn't mean, you know, it's like not everyone can be Einstein.
Chase, drop. Good girl. Good.
Stay tuned. It's going to be really fun because, you know, in the last few years, we've learned that dogs are capable of imitation.
On your side. Good girl.
And not only that, but they've been able to hijack our bonding pathway. They can create an oxytocin loop. Oxytocin is this hug hormone, and it's what makes you feel love for your dog. When you're petting your dog or your dog is making eye contact with you, this hormone that creates love between parent and offspring is also created between dog owner and dog.
Good girl. You're doing good, girl.
And it's why we care so much for them. So that's their remarkable gift, is we have bonded with them and they understand us in a way that no other animal does.
Make him sit, make him stay.
Brian Hare has devised a way for dog owners to test their dog's cognitive skills. It's a website called Dognition.
As a scientist, what I'm always thinking when people say, oh, my dog is so smart or my dog is not so smart, is compared to what? And I don't know what people are comparing their dog to, but that's what Dognition answers for you. If you
Yourself, I suspect.
I guess, maybe, yeah, maybe to themselves.
As you might have guessed, when Chaser took the Dognition intelligence test, she came up trumps,
Good girl.
which was no surprise to her proud 87-year-old owner. Did she fulfill her potential?
Oh, Chaser has over-fulfilled her potential.
Yeah, you're so smart, so sweet.
There's no stopping Chaser. I like to say now, to some degree, I am her slave, but it's fun.